Hello guys, today we'll be looking at user-defined functions in Python. Now, user-defined functions means, let's start with the function first. A function carries an instruction to perform using an argument. Okay, it can use an argument, it cannot use an argument. Okay, but here now, functions is holding an instruction to perform a certain action. Now, user defined means we are the ones now, the programmers, to create a function in Python. Okay, so now let us create a function. To create a function, first of all, we'll start with df, meaning definition, and I pass in info, and I pass in an argument name. Okay, and I pass in the instruction. Remember, we said an instruction that is going to perform to give us a certain action or output. I'll say print df, and I say my name is name here, and I pass in a variable to the argument. We pass in a value. So I'm passing pizza, which is the value, a string, into the variable. So the next thing we're going to do now is we say info, and we call the name, close it, and we run. So you can see my name is Peter because we have passed the variable name into the function. Okay, so when you pass the variable, it becomes an argument into the function. Now we want to look at the types of arguments. We have the positional arguments and the keyword arguments. The positional argument talks about you have to arrange your argument in an orderly manner. Okay, so how do we do that? We do df, the name of the function, info1, and I pass in the name and age. So I just copy this. And add some information. Okay, so we have name, then we pass in an age. Age is going to be 45, and we say info one, pass in the name and age. So when I run this now, you see my name is Peter and I am 45 years old. Now, what makes it a positional argument is when I change this from the name first and I put age and I put the name before the age, and this was going to give us. My name is 45 and I am Peter years old. So what makes the positional argument is because of the orderly arrangements that we do down here. Okay, so orderly arranging our arguments. So I'll press on Control Z to take us back. Okay, so when I run this now, my name is Peter and I am 45 years old. Now let us look at keyword. So keyword means assigning these values into the arguments. Okay, so to do that now, I'll still use the same example. So I'll copy this information as well again, and I paste it here now. Now, what's going to make it a keyword argument is that I have to remove this information here, and I will say info one, open bracket, I pass in those information, the name is equals to Peter, and the age, which is 45. Okay, so you can see here now we are assigning them inside the arguments compared to the positional whereby we are arranging them according to order. So please take note, that is the difference. So when I do this and I run, you see my name is Peter and I am 45 years old. So even if I take the age, copy, and I remove this, then I put the age before the name, it's still not going to change. So if I do this and we run this now, it's still not going to change because we have assigned the variable inside. Okay, so orderliness does not matter in keyword arguments. Now we want to look at the arbitral key arguments. Okay, the arbitral key arguments. Now for the arbitral key arguments, we will use the definition of args. Okay, args. So to do that now, we'll say we'll create a function df and we'll call it my list. Then we pass in, remember, using the asterisk. So it's not using the asterisk, and I say fruits. I want to have fruits. Then I iterate for I in fruits. So someone might be wondering what is for. So please, I would like to refer you back to our Python loop, our loop in Python we did previously. Okay, so that video you'll be able to understand for loop. Okay, so for loop, we want to iterate, we want to get each of these information fruits. Okay, then I print I. So now I say my list, open bracket, and I pass in fruits: apple, cherry, then we don't want too much. Okay, let's have avocado, and one more we'll have pear, or let's use orange instead. Orange. So when I run this now, you can see it's giving me the output one after the other. So you see now I did not use an assignment operator to ask for the variables. I just passed in much information. So the arbitrary keyword, the arbitrary positional arguments, this arbitrary positional arguments. Positional argument talks about we can assign as much argument into this list and it will take them all of them. Okay, while the arbitrary keyword arguments, we use the kwargs. Okay, so for the kwargs now we have to assign them according to their keyword arguments. Okay, so an example now, let's say we want to ask for an information, we want to use a dictionary. So say print personal details, and I use, remember this is denoted using the double asterisk. Okay, then I say for the keys and the values in details dot items, print the keys, okay, the keys and the values. Okay, so do this and close brackets. So I write an information saying personal details. So I'm going to pass in an information. So I'm going to say the name is equals to Peter, age is equals to 45, and let's say with the gender, we don't have too much information. So the gender, then give it male. Okay, so you can see I'm passing them in a keyword format. Okay, so now it's going to take this much information. So you can take much information, but it's going to be in an assignment to the variable. Okay, so if I run this now, you can see now in terms of the key name. Okay, name Peter. The keys are the names. So I'll just do this to arrangements here. Okay, so when we run this again, we have for the key name, value Peter, keys age, and the value 45, and lastly the keys gender and the value male. So I hope we're able to understand functions, types of functions, and the arbitrary arguments. Okay, I hope we're able to understand the functions, the arguments, positional arguments, keyword arguments, and the rest.